Hey, welcome everyone to another episode of the Rock Fantasy Files. I'm here to chat with Laurence Langley, drums of Battery, the masters of Metallica tribute, who are set to play here in my hometown tomorrow night at the Orange County Fair, the 184th edition of the Orange County Fair, Friday, July 22nd, for a free show. This is free with fair admission. There is a VIP option where you can go up front if you like. I think that's $20, but just come and see the band. It's free with fair admission. Also tomorrow night, it's a super concert because co-headlining with Battery are the AC/DC Experience Live Wire, who I caught both of these bands last year here at the fair. Both are great and amazing. We've got Laurence here. So Laurence, introduce yourself, I guess, and where are you joining us from tonight?
Hey, Stephen, I'm in Northwest Indiana, just south of Chicago, Crown Point. I'm Laurence Langley. I'm the drummer of Battery, and I basically started the band. I'm the founding member.
And how long have you had the band together, Laurence?
Oh, 20 years now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. We started just the end of the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And Metallica found out about us touring, and then they released a CD of all cover songs, Garage Inc.
Yeah.
And they got us to open up for them because everywhere they were going, they were hearing about us. And, Metallica fans were coming to see us and coming to see them. And everyone was, telling Metallica, oh, Battery's doing an awesome job, an awesome tribute to you guys. So they hired us to open up for them and do a small Midwest tour, 5-city tour. And we played Metallica originals, and then they did all covers. So we covered them, then they covered everyone else. So that was in 98. So we had just started.
Wow.
Just before then. Yeah.
So what cities did that tour actually happen? I know I had a friend of mine that actually did see you on that tour. Did that come out and play New York City?
Yeah, we played Roseland Ballroom in New York City.
That's probably where he saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, we did Chicago, Toronto, Philadelphia, Detroit, and New York.
That's just amazing that Metallica had you open up for Metallica. I think that's just a very interesting fact, and we were going to talk a little bit about that. And you must have had some memorable moments from that tour. You got a couple you want to chat about?
Oh yeah. Well, how it happened? Metallica were in a meeting with Cliff Bernstein. And they wanted to do the tour, but they wanted to play all the covers off the CD they had just released.
Yeah.
And they kept saying, but everyone's going to be screaming for Master Puppets and Seek and Destroy and Bell Tolls. And Lars kind of jokingly said, why don't we get Battery to open up for us? And they'll play our originals and we'll do all the covers. And everyone chuckled. And then Cliff Bernstein, their manager, he said, hey, Lars, wait, that's actually not a bad idea. So maybe a few days later, we were in Louisiana. We get a call, and it was from our agent, and said that Metallica wanted us to open up for them on a tour, and he didn't have any other details. So we thought we were like being punked. So we told nobody. He said, oh, I should know everything, and this was on a Thursday. He said by the start of next week, by Monday. So we told nobody about it. No girlfriends, nothing, right? Because we thought it was a joke. And then Monday we got the call from her agent, and he said, okay, here's how it's going down. Metallica's released the CD, and then you guys are going to come out and do the originals, and then they're going to do all the covers. And we're like, oh wow, okay. So then that's how it happened. So, and one of the coolest moments was in Detroit. We had started the song One, and soon as we started, soon as our singer went da 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 da, look to the right, and there's James Hetfield standing with his arms folded on stage right, watching us play his song. And he just stood there. And I look over at him, then I jump in and we start playing,
Yeah.
And he stood there and he watched the whole song with this big grin on his face, and he was headbanging. And it was such a cool moment to look over and see James kind of give his nod of approval, playing one of his greatest songs ever.
Yeah, that's got to be a pretty special moment for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And there's all kinds of other ones. I mean,
could have been a little nerve wracking too, maybe.
Oh, totally. When I looked over and saw him, like, oh my God, there's Hetfield standing right there, and we're playing one. I'm like, oh wow. So then you're totally concentrating, trying not to stare at him, and trying to play the song and not mess it up. But it was really cool, man, to get to do that tour, and to
Mhm.
get to talk to them a little bit and hang out a little bit, and stuff like that. So
It seems like Metallica really adores bands that do covers of them too, because I should have had notes on this. I didn't, because I've been running around. I was over at the fairgrounds where you guys are playing tomorrow tonight,
right.
introducing the Red Knot Chili Peppers the night. But we did a Metallica episode last year, and I had Robin Mason on, who's from Gruesome, also manages Exodus, and she
Mm.
invited a guy from a Metallica tribute band from the Northwest, and they told the story of how they had some stuff stolen, and Metallica really helped them get back on the road, much like what happened to Metallica way back in the day. So it seems like they really look out for their people.
Well, we know that guy, Jared. It's Jared
Yes,
Keith. Yes,
Jared.
Jared used to go to George Brown University.
Okay.
He was studying law.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
right, and he had come to see us at a bunch of different venues that we had played out around Washington and Virginia and Maryland and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a singer leave or take some time off. And I called Jared, and he came out and did some shows with us. And then he did like a few weeks, and then our regular singer came back. And then after that, he had finished George Brown, and then he moved back out,
Yeah,
to
okay.
Northwest. Yeah.
It's a small world, huh? And
Yeah, man. So yeah, we've played shows with Jared. He's great.
and he was and I think the name of his band was Blistered Earth.
Yes, Blistered Earth from the
Now,
song
now
Blackened.
I just looked at his Facebook, and it says he's the lead guitar that Hell Awaits the Slayer tribute. So he's moving on to do that too, I guess. So that sounds cool.
Yeah, he just took like 6 months off, and he did the Slayer Hell Awaits. Yeah, he's a great guitar player.
Man,
He plays all the leads and everything.
and I
Yeah, he's
think
badass.
he's also I believe he's also a blacklight poster collector like I am. So you can tell my background here.
Right. Yeah, it looks awesome.
But I also read about your band. I did a little research on you when I knew you were coming to the fair, and looked at your website and tried to share some on my social media to promote the show. And I read about you guys. You guys travel. You guys play all around the world. Looks like.
Yeah,
And
we just came. Oh, do you want
go
me
ahead.
to go?
Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right. Yeah, we just came back from the country of Qatar, east of Saudi Arabia, playing for the U.S. troops over
Wow.
at LED Air Base. It was on July 1st, and that was our 9th trip over to the Middle East. We've been to Kuwait and Jordan, which is just south of Syria,
Mm-hmm.
and we've been to United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi, all different air bases, and then we just come back from Qatar. That was like our 9th trip over, and we've done 18 shows in the Middle East for all the troops, man. It's really cool to get to meet all these guys and girls from every part of the U.S. who are deployed, mostly for a year at a time. And so they
Yeah.
miss birthdays and Christmas and New Year's and anniversaries and the birth of their children and stuff while they're over, on
Mm-hmm.
deployment. And so we get to go over and do a big set of Metallica. And they asked us to do a 90-minute set. We did 3 hours, 10 minutes,
Wow.
nonstop. It
Cool.
was 100 degrees on stage when we started.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and it was like 113 over there every day, dude. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I tell you what, get ready. It's gonna be hot here tomorrow. I was just at the fairgrounds tonight. It was in the 90s, and so it's
yeah,
gonna be a warm weekend here in Middletown too, but not quite 113. I think it's gonna be about 95. But when the sun went down tonight, it was pretty nice over there. So,
yeah, yeah.
so how'd you get involved with doing the Middle East? Is that something that the government set up with you? I can remember back in the day. Of course, I'm old. I'm 61. I remember like the USO shows, and like Bob Hope would go over and
Right.
all that, all that. So it's very similar, I guess. So how
Yeah,
does that get set up?
this friend of ours in Rockford, Illinois, she sent me a message. She goes, "You guys are like the new Bob Hope. You go over to play for the troops so much." But what happened in 2014? two master sergeants were stationed in Panama City. They
Okay.
were U.S. Air Force.
Yeah.
And we played Panama City Beach, Club La Vela. They saw us there, came up, talked to me after the show, asked if we'd be interested in going to the Middle East because they were getting deployed over there for a year.
Oh, wow.
So I gave them our information, our agent's number and email and all this. And probably 8 months later, our agent called me out of the blue one day. And he goes, Laurence, you guys want to go to the Middle East to play for the U.S. troops? And I'm like, oh my God, yes. He goes, it's over in the Persian Gulf. I'm like, yeah, okay. He goes, are you sure? I'm like, yes, we'll go. And he goes, you know, the Air Force will take care of you, and it's all military, and you'll fly in, they'll pick you up, you'll play at the base, stay at the base, eat at the base. And, you know, so our first show was in 2014. We set the record for the longest show ever at LUD, 3 hours, 15 minutes.
Wow.
It was 1:08 when we went on stage. And then we did a meet and greet with the troops for 4 hours after the show.
Wow.
And they were blown away. And then 6 months later, they brought us back and then kind of started to spread, you know, about us and playing, you know, bringing the Metallica to the bases, you know, to Qatar. And then so we started to get to be invited to other air bases in the Middle East. And so that's kind of was two master sergeants from the Air Force who saw us in Florida, and that's how it started.
What an interesting story that is, and how that, you know, got that started. Well, a question just for you. How long have you been playing music? Were you in another band before you started this project?
No, I started, we had an original band called Disaster Area, which
Okay.
I'll send you our original music, but
Okay.
we kind of started Battery to help promote Disaster Area. And
Okay.
so Disaster, like Battery would be the headliner,
Yeah.
and Disaster Area was the opening band.
I see.
And we were all the same. We were both bands.
Mhm.
So we come out first, and we had drum heads for Disaster Area,
Mhm.
and a Disaster Area backdrop. And we'd say, hey, we're Disaster Area. We're from Toronto, Canada. We played originals, and then Metallica, you know, and then we'd go Battery's coming up next. Then we'd put these cardboard inserts in our drum heads for Battery and
Mhm.
pull a Disaster Area backdrop and bring out some crosses and fog machines, and we came out all in black, and we were the same band. And so we started to get a lot of like radio airplay in like Buffalo, New York, and
Yeah.
Detroit, and Windsor, and Louisville, Kentucky, and Cincinnati, and Cleveland. And then our singer had a nervous breakdown and left. And then we got a replacement, but he was like a Hetfield guy. And so then we just kind of continued on as Battery, and we never really went back to the original stuff because it was really weird not playing it, you know, or you know, the original guy that we wrote it with was gone, the original singer, and he and I and our bass player Phil, we had all written it together. So it was all our riffs with him and lyrics that we had wrote together,
Mhm.
you know, and vocal lines that we created. So we felt really, it just felt not right to do it. So we just kind of focused on Battery. And then we were starting to get invited to go like to Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands and Honduras. And we
Wow.
went up to Alaska and Canada, and, you know, so we got to go all over. And then in 2014, we started getting invited overseas. So
Cool. Oh, you sent me a list, quite a great list of prominent national acts you've had the pleasure of being on the stage with. You want to go over a few of them for the viewers?
sure. Yeah, we played like with Kid Rock down in Florida, and Rob Zombie out in Maryland, and Stone Temple Pilots, who were unbelievable, you know,
Mhm.
Scott Whalen, and Def Leppard.
Wow.
And Def Leppard were so amazing. Oh my God. And we played with Megadeth out in Maryland. And Dave was, I mean, the band was great. You know, of course, Megadeth is always awesome. And we had played with like Vince Neil out in Montana.
So Quiet Riot's on your list.
Quiet Riot.
Nickelback, Fuel,
Yeah.
Pat Benatar. Yeah. Tesla. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Because
So
we played a lot of festivals all over the country, you know. So
okay, yeah. So you're doing like a lot of festival dates when you were playing with some of those bands?
Yeah, and
Cool.
like one festival in Montana, we finished the show, and we were on at like 4 in the afternoon, and a little girl not a little girl, a younger female comes over with a case of Bud Light, and she goes, "Hey, Brett Michaels just sent this case of beer over to you. Said you guys are awesome. Loved your set." And she handed us a case of Bud Light. We're like, "No way, that's pretty cool."
Well, this might be a dumb question to ask you, but what album, maybe a desert album, that album you got, or they always say you can only take one album to that desert island. What
Yeah.
album are you gonna take from back in the, from heavy metal, hard rock, I guess?
I would take Master Puppets and probably like Sad Wings of Destiny,
Okay,
Priest.
yeah, all right, all right. And one interesting fact you may not know, Lawrence, is that you may not be aware of this, that Metallica have played the Orange County Fairgrounds 3 times.
No way.
Once at the defunct Rock 3 bar that stood behind the Speedway on the
Right.
Kill 'Em All tour. If you drive in there tomorrow, you're going to probably drive right by it. It's a big office building. In fact, that's where my oral surgeon works now. And but it used to be a pretty classic rock club, and that show is actually on the Kill 'Em All box set if you have it. If the
Oh,
viewers
wow.
have, if you're looking at it, says JB's Rock 3. They recorded that, and that's part of that Kill 'Em All box set. And they also played at the fairgrounds proper when the fairgrounds was getting like the big national acts in the 80s and 90s. They played there on the Justice for All tour, and then they came back and played on the Black Album tour. In fact, it was pretty Suicidal Tendencies was warming them up that night, and I forget the third. I think it might have been Danzig was there too.
Oh, wow.
And it was the same night as the OJ Simpson chase.
No way.
I was working at a rock bar around town, so I left a little bit before they were over because I had to set up with a radio station at this rock and roll bar. And everybody's looking at the TV and like, what is it? And there's a white Bronco, and the cops are chasing it. And it was OJ Simpson night. So that's what I always remember that night.
Wow.
Are there any favorite songs that you like to perform from Metallica? Is there just ones that you wish you could just play and maybe don't get to play all the time or something like that?
No. Well, see, we do like a large catalog of their songs, right? So when we do like the airbase shows, for example, we do a real radio kind of Metallica set, you know what I mean? All
Yes.
the radio songs.
Yep.
And then when we get heavier crowds, and you can tell by, when you see the crowd coming in,
Yeah.
and we don't like write up a set,
Okay.
a day before or a week before. We write the set once we see the crowd.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we assess. And if we got a lot of heavy guys, then we're going to come out and start with Creeping Death and Four Horsemen and Master and Harvester and Short Straw and stuff like that. And so we get to do a large, a large kind of covering of all the Metallica songs. And like we do, like I love playing Blackened. That's a challenging song, really heavy, and really, and you got to be on your game, and you can't mess around, man, with that song, or next thing you know, you'll be totally lost. I mean, it's a song you can't even look at the crowd. You got to be so focused, you know what I mean, when you're playing that song. So we get to do, heavy stuff, Battery, of course, since it's our, the name of the band, and but there's all, like Saboteur is a really cool song to do live, and and we've done Sandman, Enter Sandman over 5,000 times.
Oh, I
People
bet.
say to me, they're like, "Dude, are you sick of Sandman? You must hate that song." And actually, I hate, after the 2000th time, I got, kind of got tired of. But then you go through kind of like a rebirth where you start to appreciate it from the fans' perspective, that they want to hear it, and when they start singing along, it's pretty cool, man, to have, to go all these places, and no matter where you go, you play that song and everyone's singing along, so that's that's
Yeah.
kind of, kind of cool in itself.
I
But
was,
we played Cincinnati last weekend, and
okay.
we started with our first song was Ride the Lightning. So it was cool to start the show with Ride.
Yeah.
Get to do something like, pretty cool.
I tell you, tomorrow night you got AC/DC, and I don't know if you've ever seen Livewire. They're a spectacular show. I saw them last year too. So you might want to bring out a couple of the heavy ones to
Yeah.
tomorrow night. And I was the guy screaming "Fight fire with fire" at you last year, and
Oh, really?
your singer reacted, "Oh, you guys want some of the heavy stuff," because maybe you looked at the crowd and you gave us a little more of a radio friendly set, and then one of my friends from the store said, "I think the fair told them they had to display the more commercial stuff," and I'm like, I don't know if the fair told you that or not. So that was a question I had for you.
No, they don't tell us,
But yes, yeah.
we're, looking at when you have younger kids and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah. Well, of course.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing So What,
Yeah.
when there's younger kids and, so, but I mean,
But
yeah,
Middletown's got that Metallica history. So I think, it's the old school guys that come out tomorrow night are looking forward to hearing stuff from the first 4 albums or so, a lot, So hey, if you could do Fight Fire with Fire for me or Trapped Under Ice, I would love it.
All right, right on, brother.
So for we got viewers that are watching this that can't come to the show tomorrow night because they're not near Middletown, New York. Do you have some upcoming shows planned during this year we could talk about maybe?
We play Orange County.
Tomorrow.
Then we go to Indianapolis for Days of the Dead Film Festival.
Oh,
we play that on Saturday.
Oh wow! So you gotta, you're you told me before we started taping that you're actually gonna, as soon as you're done recording this with me, you're getting in the car, picking up the rest of the guys, and driving to Middletown. And then you got to drive back to Indianapolis, and as soon as you get done playing, pretty much, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And then next weekend we go to Cleveland, and then we're off for a week, and then we're somewhere in Pennsylvania, Tarrytown or something, and then we go to New Hampshire, and then we go to Clio, Michigan for a festival there.
Okay.
In Ohio, Saginaw, Ohio, or somewhere near Toledo.
I guess if people want to check it out, we'll put the link to your website in the liner notes here, or in the show notes. And I guess you could also, what is the website we could go to check out Battery?
Like, just go to our Facebook page, is probably the best.
Okay. I didn't know if you had actual website too. And do you have merchandise? Will you be selling some t-shirts tomorrow night at the fair?
No.
Okay. All right. Just wondering.
No merch.
No merch tomorrow night. So
no.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. I guess you got about a 90-minute set, I would say, tomorrow night.
Yes.
Yeah. With the 2 bands, and there's the fair is good this year. Plenty of good food there, and hopefully people are watching this local. I'm going to get this right out tonight, and hopefully you guys can see this and drive on out to the fair tomorrow night. What's not to like? Nice summer night. Listen to Metallica songs and AC/DC songs, and it's going to be an epic night at the fairgrounds tomorrow night.
Right on. Absolutely.
Anything you'd like to add, Laurence?
No, it was nice talking to you, man. It was great meeting you. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And Battery says, hell yeah, we'll see you in Orange County tomorrow night, brother.
Awesome. And you have safe travels getting here, of course.
Yes, thank you.
And you're going to be driving and getting here just in time to see us over there tomorrow night.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, hey, if you like the channel, please take a moment to hit subscribe and do all that good stuff that you already know if you watch YouTube all the time. So thanks for watching tonight, and go out and support Battery, the Metallica tribute.
And Metallica for all, brother.
Yeah. Cool.